Oh, yeah! It's a nice Thursday morning. Wait, is it Thursday? Is it Thursday? Okay, yeah. It's a nice Thursday morning. I'm caffeined up. I'm blinked to the sky. And I'm also on my motherfucking way. Yeah! What up, everybody? Welcome to another stream. Welcome to another show. I don't think you're hyped enough. That's right, you. I don't think you're hyped enough. Because holy crap, so much crazy stuff going on, so much fun to be had. And we're going to have that fun today. Yeah, lots to get into, man. So many rumors, reports, leaks, speculations, friggin' red strings on a pin cushion board, multiple pictures, graphs, charts, chat, GTPs. There's a lot going on about Kang, Marvel, future, Secret Wars things. And we've got to talk about it. So that's what we're going to break down today. There's also some sad news about Doctor Doom. There's also some weird news about Disney and new people coming into Disney and people leaving Disney and Disney leaving Disney and Star Wars and Disney Plus shows and things of that nature. Look, let's get into it. I'm pulling into the tower. Look alive, chat! Yeah! Sit up straight! Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Top of the morning to you. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. I am pumped to be here with you as always. Hey, do me a favor, man. Hey, wait. I don't want to start the stream off on the wrong foot and ask a bunch of favors and do that kind of stuff. But hey, if you like these streams, like I like these streams, like and subscribe and share the video. Look, in 2023, I would love to grow our streaming channel and grow the streams to like really big sizes where we're getting, thousands and thousands of people in here so that even more of you can be combative and try to trigger me and we can have really fun interactions when I freak the fuck out on you. So if you want that as well, you've got to hit the like button. You've got to subscribe. You've got to share the streams out. You got to get your grandma to tell all of her friends at the old folks home to all. Can you imagine a whole old folks home full of people watching the Nerdvenger stream in the mornings? I gotta be honest, that would probably be pretty chill. That would probably be a pretty cool hang. And I think we'd be better for it. I think they'd be better for it. I think it would be fantastic. You'd be banning people every second. You couldn't handle that. Well, there would be people being banned for sure, but a lot of them wouldn't even know they were banned, so they could still watch. They just won't be able to comment. Trev, don't you know the game by now? God damn. God, there's probably at least 100 people watching right now that think they're commenting and they're like, why doesn't everybody mention my comments? It's just because you're banned and nobody can see you. But anyway, don't worry about it. Come back. Don't worry about that. Don't think about that. Come back. We have fun. Come back stream time. Come. Okay. I wanted to start today's stream off by talking about the Tommy Dean. Can we get some love into the chat for the Tommy Dean? That's a nice Nespresso. Am I banned? I mean, I didn't see that. Can we get some love into the chat for the Tommy Dean? Okay, this shit was hilarious. Okay, I want to just tell the story. I'll tell it quickly, okay? So, we give away a $200 GameStop gift card every month to a Nerdvenger member. Memberships, brilliant way to support us, support the channel. We like to do a lot of things to give back to our members because they're like the lifeblood of our community. Okay, so at the beginning of each month, we draw for the Nerdvenger that will win the $200 GameStop gift card. So this month, it was the Tommy Dean. Now, here's the only thing. We haven't seen the Tommy Dean in a lot of chats. So ever since we pulled his name, I said, we'll give him until next Wednesday. And if he does not claim this, we'll give it away to a new Nerdvenger member. So yesterday rolls around. On Wednesdays, we do our Nerdvenger stream. We don't stream publicly. We stream behind the scenes. So we get in there, right? And literally, I think I even put in the Discord, I was like, we're going to give away the $200 GameStop gift card. And then we're on some subject completely different than that, you know, super ADD as I do. And all of a sudden, I see the Tommy Dean in the chat. And I was like, dude, what? No way. Is that the actual Tommy Dean? And it was the actual Tommy Dean. And hilariously, he came in randomly, had no idea that he won, and he pissed all the members off yesterday. I thought it was very funny. And congratulations to Tommy Dean. And if you are mad at Tommy Dean, don't worry. You'll get another chance next month. It was pretty funny, dude. I was like, oh shit, is that really the Tommy Dean? And then I was like, do you have any idea why everybody's so mad right now? And like the whole chat's like, ah, fuck you, Tommy! Tommy! Like just going crazy, dude. It was brilliant. Oh, what a good time. So shout out to the Tommy Dean. That shit was funny. Okay, let's can we just start on something else really random and funny? Like, is that okay? Is that okay if we just do something else really random and funny? Hang on. This is what kind of stream it's going to be today, okay? I saw this on Reddit. The X-Men, when somebody asks them their thoughts about Captain America.
Soft. Overrated. Pretty boy. A bitch. Soft. Overrated. Pretty boy. A bitch.
Yeah. Look, I don't know why that was so funny to me, but it was. And I can imagine the X-Men feeling that way about Steve Rogers. Pretty funny stuff. Okay, so let's get into the actual news. Let's get into the actual content. This I wanted to bring up because as I did a little bit more research into it, and this is going to tie into several things that we're going to talk about today, okay? I'm like, I kind of feel like we might be in this very weird moment where a lot of big businesses and companies are looking at streaming and they're like, yeah, I don't fucking know about this shit. Like, I don't know about that. Streaming? And I want to explain something that happened yesterday, okay? So there was somebody let go yesterday. The board shakeup as activist investor claims self-inflicted woes plague company. And Nike executive Mark Parker will now lead the board while investor Nelson Powell's fund expressed concern that Disney leaders failed to effectively communicate the financial rationale behind the strategic pivot. Okay? This shit's really, really interesting. Okay, we'll read a little bit here, and then there's some stuff down below that's like about the streaming shit where like the board members are like, so the streaming just loses money forever? That doesn't seem smart. So the business model is that it just loses money forever. Could we do it? Could we try something different? So the Walt Disney Company is shaking up its board of directors, tapping Nike executive chairman Mark Parker to be the chairman, effective as of its next annual meeting. Susan Arnold, who had been chair since Bob Iger retired from the company at the end of 2021, and who asked him to return last year, will step down from the board at that time. The company says her departure is consistent with Disney's 15-year board term limit. Mark Parker's vision, incredible depth of experience, and wise counsel have been invaluable to Disney, and I look forward to continuing working with him in his new role, along with our other directors, as we chart the future course for this amazing company, said Bob Iger. On behalf of my fellow board members and the entire Disney management team, I also want to thank Susan for superb leadership as chair, for her tireless work over the past 15 years as an exemplary steward of the Disney brand. Is that so? However, the company also disclosed that it's facing a proxy fight from activist investor Nelson Peltz and his fund Trian Partners. Trian nominated Peltz to serve on the board. In a presentation published on January 11th, the investment firm described many of Disney's challenges as self-inflicted. Just right out the gate, I would agree with that. And advocated for the entertainment giant to restore its dividend by fiscal year 2025, seek more efficiencies and additional profits, and express concern that Disney management direct-to-consumer streaming push with Disney Plus failed to effectively communicate the financial rationale behind the strategic pivot. Peltz Fund went on to elaborate its concern with Disney Plus, adding, "We are surprised that," and this is really, really key here, we're surprised that Disney's best-in-class IP, franchises, and scale have not led to inline, if not superior, unit economics compared with Netflix, which generally lacks high-quality franchise IP. It also claimed that Netflix is more cost-effective in its production and programming costs compared to Disney. The activist investors Trian also specified that it is not looking to oust Iger or spin off assets like ESPN, but that the fund is for ensuring successful CEO succession within 2 years, meaning that it's looking for Iger to leave that role at that time. So basically, guys, this is a party that is heavily influential to Disney, a massive investment fund that is basically looking at the Disney Plus situation, looking at what's going on with Disney in general, and is like, bro, what the actual F, okay? Specified not looking. Disney board disclosed in a statement earlier in the day that it remains open to constructive engagement and ideas that help drive shareholder value. While senior leaders with the Walt Disney Company and its board of directors have engaged with Mr. Peltz numerous times over the last few months, the board does not endorse Trian Group nominee and recommends that shareholders not support its nominee and instead vote for all company nominees. In its letter asking shareholders for support, Disney board went into some details about Iger's mission during his current tenure. Mr. Iger's mandate is to use his 2-year term and depth of experience in the industry to adapt the business model for the shifting media landscape, rebalancing investment with revenue opportunity while bringing a renewed focus on the creative talent that has made the Walt Disney Company the envy of the industry. The company said Mr. Iger has already taken decisive steps to realign the content creation and distribution and reposition Disney streaming platforms and linear broadcast cable networks to enhance profitability for the company. Has he really, though? Because I haven't seen shit about that. If that's the case, I'm unaware. The board shakeup comes amid tumultuous year for Disney, which ousted Bob Iger's successor and now predecessor Bob Chapek last November. Apparently, Kim Masters and Parker played a critical role in that decision, eventually convincing Arnold that it was the right move. Okay, so this is really interesting. We're gonna have to see like how this actually fully shakes out. Okay, not 100% sure how this will, I guess, manifest into actual changes for the content that you and I care about. But I think there's a couple of really interesting things that are brought up there, and it's also really ironic that Bob Iger is the guy that created this monster. He created Disney Plus. A lot of his legacy is directly tied to Disney Plus, and so it behooves him to try to keep it, not only keep it around, but keep it a major cornerstone of the content strategy for Disney moving forward. This outside group is basically saying, bro, y'all are spending way more money than Netflix, and you've got this brilliant IP that you spent billions of dollars to get. Why aren't you competing with Netflix? And they're talking about a profit by profit thing, but even beyond that, they're not even really competing with Netflix with like overall watch time, right? So that takes us to the Disney Plus shows for Marvel and Star Wars. And I guess look, I have my opinions on this, but you know what I think we should do? Let's open this up to the chat. By the way, I really appreciate the 50 spot. I see that, and I appreciate you. I will get to that 50 when we get into the Q&A later. But here's what I want to know from you. Why do you think Disney Plus shows are not competing with Netflix? Or are not, maybe there's a better way to say this. Why do you think Disney Plus shows are falling short compared to Netflix, maybe? Let's say not reaching the success of Netflix shows. Because there's some really interesting data that is out there about the Disney Plus shows, and I'm sure Disney, like, because there's two parts of understanding analytics, right? There's the gathering of the data, but then you also have to try to like intellectualize how does that data actually manifest into things you're doing right, things you're doing wrong. How does that work exactly? Like, for instance, when it comes to click-through rate on a YouTube video, one thing that a lot of people don't think about is the channel's reputation plays a big factor in that click-through rate. And that's something that's very hard to quantify. So like you can look at data, but you also have to understand these sort of non-quantifiable factors that go into these things. So why do you guys think? So Remy says no rewatch value. I think that's absolutely fair. You know, on a side note here, man, how many Disney Plus shows? I want y'all to just think about this because we're doing Q&As inside of Q&As now, so I don't know, we're getting a little too wild here, but just think about in your mind, when is the last time you went back and rewatched a Disney Plus show? An original, right? Like one of the Star Wars shows, one of the Marvel shows. Just think about that. Because they're too family friendly. Interesting. They suck except Loki, Moon Knight, and Mando. Interesting. Netflix gives better quality in the story. Disney Plus gives very predictable or bland content. Man, that is fascinating to me. Because I know people that think Netflix stuff just absolutely sucks. And I think that the average... I think if you were to sort of create like a median or average quality for a Netflix original or for, you know, something of that, I actually do think it's particularly low. But I think some of their incredible shows like Wednesday, like you could argue Dahmer, even though I didn't watch it, it blew up. You could argue, obviously, Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, some of these really hit shows, they certainly resonate with people more. I would argue, yes, Stranger Things is of higher quality. I don't know that I could say Cobra Kai is consistently at higher quality. I don't know if that's the full story, but I understand where you're coming from. They lack the mature content. That I don't know. I don't know if that can actually be a part of it, but it is coming up a few bit here. Afraid to cater to mature audience. Wow, it came up again. They're rushed to a certain point, and word of mouth hasn't been amazing for hyping general audiences. Not enough time spent developing the projects. I agree with that, Mandalore. Hope you're doing well. Plain and simple with Star Wars, they have plenty of great source material and have zero F's about it. Like shows about it, is that what you mean? Because there's no real stakes and seem pointless. Filler. Yeah. That I think the filler thing, or like they seem pointless, is definitely a part of it. I think that they just feel too commercial, dude. Like it just feels too commercial. Like you're not gonna get a 10 out of 10 experience. Like it's like opening up a fun size Snicker bar. It's like, bro, this shit's just gonna get me started. Like I'm hungry, and this ain't gonna do it. This will be great, you know, for a little thing, and then like I'm hungry. because there's no real stakes, original content, bigger franchises, and bigger IP demand better quality stories. Netflix has smaller IP and less expectations. That's a pretty good point. I hate to say that Trev has any good points, but this is a good point. Bigger franchises and bigger IP demand better quality stories. Netflix has smaller IP and less expectation. That might be a big part of it. I think he's right. You know, with a massive IP comes massive expectations. And perhaps the model that Netflix used, it's not going to work with this other IP. That's interesting. Bland content mostly feels like cookie cutter Disney. Netflix has a variety of shows and styles. Yeah, that's a great point too. There's just the variety on Netflix. And like, think about this too. I think consumer behavior is so important. And this is something that I think a lot of people miss, right? And so you think about Netflix, bro, Netflix was like when I was in college, and oh man, that was long ago, you know what I mean? But when I was in college, like it was Netflix. You threw on fucking Netflix. That's what everybody had. That's what everybody was watching. That's the passwords that were being shared around. It was Netflix. Consumer behavior became the pattern that if you were just looking to put something on streaming, you opened Netflix. Nowadays with Disney Plus, it feels like you only open it, at least for me, you only open it when there's like something connected to one of the big IPs that I have. And the unfortunate reality of that is it's actually creating a negative feedback loop, not a positive one. Because literally, damn, dog, like 90, maybe 80%, if I was being really generous, I could maybe say 70% of the content created for like Marvel and Star Wars Disney Plus, I actively don't enjoy. Bro, what? So think about it. They're creating this loop, this consumer behavior problem at the height of streaming, in the middle of the fucking pandemic, when all we had to do was just sit on our asses and watch stuff, and they fit us mid-tier shit for like 2 years, basically. That is not a formula to create positive consumer behavior rolling out of that, you know? Netflix has a broader range of interests. I agree. Disney is poo-poo brain. I'm going to put that on a shirt. The Plus show will fill like Umbrella Academy with filler episodes. Okay, yeah, I get you there. Commercial, scrapbook, storytelling, focus groups, etc. Disney gone off the deep end. Indie will stink too, unfortunately. Yeah, I have zero hype for indie, man. I have zero hype for indie. Dude, okay, interesting thoughts. I really appreciate everybody chiming in on that. It's good to get some of your thoughts on that. Out of curiosity, are there any shows now that we're out of that Q&A? Are there any shows that you guys go and revisit? Because to me, the only one I would really do it is Mando. Like Mandalorian, and it's really only a few episodes. But Mandalorian, Loki, so even Loki, dude, I don't know, other than the last episode, other than the finale. Daredevil? Yeah, but that's a Netflix show. Isn't that ironic? I'd go watch the Netflix show. Yeah, because yeah. That's fair. What if I watch a good bit? What if I revisit? I've revisited What If at least a couple times a year since it came out. Select episodes of Clone Wars Season 7. True. Yeah, interesting. Moon Knight. Okay, yeah, I mean, I could see Moon Knight, I guess. I mean, dude, like, my problem with a lot of these shows is that they ultimately left me so unfulfilled that there's no, like, carrot, there's no gold at the end of the rainbow, there's nothing that's going to get me to, like, sit through this show to get to that big payoff, other than Mando Season 2. And Mando Season 1 was really good, too. Okay, so next order of business, the next thing I want to talk about, and we're going to get into all the crazy Kang stuff, but, like, I got a lot to get into, and I told myself I'd only stream for an hour today. I've already fucked that up, so I better get going. Okay, let's rush through these other things. Next order of business. Why is nobody talking about or watching maybe the Clone Wars? Why Bad Batch, sorry. Why is nobody talking about the Bad Batch? Guys, I have seen next to no discussions about Bad Batch. Literally next to nothing. I saw more conversation for Andor at this stage than I saw for Bad Batch. Why is this happening? I watched the episode yesterday. It was fantastic. It might be one of the best animated episodes of Star Wars ever created. It's like in my top 10, maybe top 15 best animated episodes of Star Wars ever. It's fantastic. It's probably top 3 of the actual Bad Batch. It was incredible. It was so good. I asked some people on Twitter about this. I was like talking about it yesterday, just trying to get feedback. Bruh, there are people out there. This is the shit that's like when you know, and Disney, basically like, bro, Disney just brought in the Nike guy to like handle their branding because they are fucked, bro. Like they are in a very bad spot. And this isn't like fucking Fandom Menace from 2 years ago. This isn't that kind of shit. This isn't like, no, this is real talk. This is like, I'm fucking Paul Revere flying across the nerdy world being like, the fucking buyout is coming. It's not good. So I had people on Twitter yesterday telling me, oh, I know Bad Batch is good. I still don't give a fuck. Like, not even saying like, oh, you're saying it's good? Oh, dude, that's so revolutionary. Oh my God, I can't wait to check it out. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to check it out. No, I had motherfuckers telling me, oh, no. Yeah, I know it's good. It's probably phenomenal. I could care less. And I can't do it with Star Wars anymore. I just can't get excited for it. And the thing that's really crazy is even myself, and this again goes back to that consumer behavior pattern. Very important. Even myself yesterday, it was late in the day. I almost didn't bring it up to Elisa. We were like having dinner. We're kind of winding down for the day. I wanted to watch it, but I was this close to not bringing it up and just watching something else. Now, I'm really glad that I watched it because it's fucking awesome. But I think that is really what it is in a nutshell. If you think about it, man, there are so many people that are literally so fed up with Star Wars. And is this on Lucasfilm? Absolutely. But it also has a lot to do with the fan base, because I think one of the reasons nobody's talking about Bad Batch, or at least a lot of people are not talking about Bad Batch, is because Star Wars discourse online is fucking horrible. I mean, for God's sakes, I can't talk positively about Ahsoka or Bad Batch or anything without people being like, yeah, no, we already had the best show ever. It was called Andor. Andor? Have you ever heard of Andor, Josh? Hey, Andor was pretty fucking cool, you know what I mean? Holy shit, dude. Bad situation, bro. I'm telling you right now. Look. I am predicting that Mando 3 will have lower viewership numbers than Mando 2. I'm at that place where I think, and I'd love to be wrong. Okay? But I've been thinking a lot about this. Probably too much about this, to be honest. I think Mando season 3 premiere will come in at something like 20% lower than The Mandalorian season 2. And the thing about this is, man, I've been trying to sound the alarm on this shit for a long time. You took your hit show at the height of people being like, oh shit, maybe Star Wars can exist on Disney Plus. This is pretty crazy. Remember the Luke ending after Mando 2? Holy shit, what a time. And actually, Bad Batch season 2 benefited from the hype of that season. I remember when Bad Batch, the first season came out, I might have just misspoke there, but when the first season of Bad Batch came out, it benefited from the buzz and hype created by the second season of The Mandalorian. And I remember the buzz for Bad Batch, dude. It was released on May the 4th. They had 2 episodes in 1 week. The shit was all the rage, all the hype. They were talking about it. They were loving it. They were excited about it, bro. Where is the love for Bad Batch now, bro, it's because they released it dud after dud after dud. They have stretched the Star Wars fan base as much as it can possibly be stretched. They took their hit fucking show off air for 2 years and delivered middies, straight middies. And I know some of you like Andor. It's fine. Some people enjoy boring ass shit. It's cool. But dude, I'm looking at all these factors. I'm looking at the buzz out there for Star Wars. I am predicting that The Mandalorian Season 3 will come in and it's going to underperform. Now, it could turn around. It could turn around. If the season slaps, I think it could absolutely turn around, and I think it could do very well, and you could ride right into some big announcements and fun and hype and excitement. But I gotta be honest, man, I think it's gonna underperform, and I hope that show recaptures the magic that it had in its first 2 seasons. But if it lacks quality, man, that's going to be really, really rough from the Star Wars brand. Now, I also think that Ahsoka obviously is going to be amazing, and the leaks and the buzz out there about Ahsoka are hype, and I'm super excited about it. But they're going to announce the sequel trilogy era movie this year, I think, at Celebration London. They will announce that the Miss Marvel director, who, yes, I know, won 2 Oscars for short documentaries, is going to direct a sequel era movie next year. All right, let's just move the fuck on. Star Wars, what are you doing? This is unbelievable. Someday they will write books about Star Wars, and unless they fucking turn this shit around this year, oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Last sad bit of news for the day. Are you ready? Are you ready? Last one. I had it confirmed to me yesterday from a very good source that's definitely not Daniel Richtman. It was him. It was Daniel RPK. I had it confirmed from a very good source. Did you guys know, by the way, on just like a real quick side tangent, did you know that like 60% of these news scoopers, they all just steal shit from Daniel? Did you know that? I didn't know that. Daniel educated me yesterday on this shit. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the real shit. No Doctor Doom until after Secret Wars. Let it out. Let it out. Let the anger flow. Let your frustration be known. There's no plans for Doctor Doom in the MCU until after Secret Wars. 100% guaranteed. He's holding on to the toy. He's not going to let us play with it until after Secret Wars. Holy shit. Holy shit. Why? Two reasons. Number one, they don't want to steal the shine from Jonathan Majors and Kang. Fuck that. Okay, so the first reason is they don't want to steal the shine from Jonathan Majors, Kang. Cool, whatever. Second reason. Because Feige knows if he holds on to the MCU X-Men and Doctor Doom until after Secret Wars, we'll be eagerly awaiting it even still, and he's got us by the proverbial balls for another 10 years. That's what it is. Shush! Also, it's getting fucking hot in here, bro. Hang on 1 second. Whew, y'all getting hot? Holy shit. Okay. So yeah, that sucks. Anyway. Moving right along. we gotta talk about this crazy stuff going on with Kang. New articles, new this and that, new whatchamacallits, this, that, second, and the thirds. And so I actually want to watch a portion of a video from Paul that isn't Paul. I think it's Jared. The fake Paul. No offense, Jared. I'm sure you're a really nice guy, and I'm sure you're your own person, but you're gonna be fake Paul. That's what it is. You're fake Paul, man. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Let's watch a little bit of this video. And let's talk about some of the new articles. And let's talk about this crazy fucking Kang shit. Because, oh my God. Callisto! With 10 gifted members? Thank you so much, Callisto. Holy cow. Thank you so much. I just saw that. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, so a couple of things going on. Obviously, the new trailer, huge for Quantumania. Got me pretty fucking hyped. I'm excited to check out the movie. But on top of that, it does link in to old plot leaks and we're going to come full circle back to this. And I got to open the chat back up because I need some validation. Axid, thanks, man. There you go. Gifted a membership. Wait, can you gift them to people specifically? Parker Thwip says, I'll gift 5 memberships if Josh emails me back. Dude, I'm going to. I want to do the animation. Are you kidding me? I've been thinking about it. I'm sorry. I got a lot going on. Yo, Parker Thwips, I will hit you up today, bro. I'm going to hit you up today. Guaranteed. 100%. So I'll talk to you next week. Put a 1 into the chat if you remember my big theory that Trev might claim is his and he's totally fucking wrong. That magic and technology and cosmic shit is all going to be connected and be essentially the same thing. Do you remember me talking about this theory? Darth, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Magic! Yeah, exactly. I think we're seeing the seeds of that come together. Pretty interesting.
The first question is, why does Kang need Ant-Man? Well, obviously to steal something. Boom, done, next theory.
Boom, done, next theory.
No, it's to steal something, but I think Kang pulled some elaborate strings to get him into the quantum realm.
Yeah,
First,
so
I
this
think
is kind of an
Cassie
interesting
was-
thing. I wonder if you guys buy this or not. A lot of people are saying they think that Kang will be the one that like sort of manipulates Cassie into bringing them all back into the quantum realm. Do you agree with that? Yes or no?
Actually tricked into making the quantum realm device shown in the first trailer. She talks to Scott and the others like they are unaware of it, trying to explain the good that it will do.
People still need help, Dad. That's why we made this. Like a satellite for deep space, but quantum.
So Kang and
But
probably
quantum.
MODOK co-conspired this together to get Scott into the quantum realm. MODOK wanting revenge. I'll elaborate on him later because this is just a big-headed Darren Cross from what we've seen in this trailer.
Yeah.
But Kang needs Ant-Man and his powers to essentially steal something. Again, the only reason that he knows about him and his ability to go subatomic is because of Darren Cross, a.k.a. MODOK.
Is that the only reason, though? Is that the only reason? Because I think a lot of this is going to come down to Janet, because Janet goes in there way before Darren does. And I think Janet, like, here's the thing. Put yourself in the perspective of Kang. And we think, more or less, that he's trying to get to the quantum nexus. He wants the ability to be able to go into any universe and manipulate actual time. That's what I think is going on. He wants to manipulate actual time. Very similar to Immortus and Kang in the Avengers Forever run. He wants to be able to actually affect time. So imagine yourself as Kang. You're in the quantum realm. You're like poking around, trying to find the quantum nexus. And then all of a sudden you see this other lady there. And you're like, hey, yo, how'd you get in here? strike up a conversation, whatever. She's obviously there via technology. You don't just randomly show up in the quantum realm. So she has the ability to help and fix his ability to then go through the quantum nexus into all these other realities, right? So I don't know if it's MODOK. Maybe.
Anyway, Kang wants to...
Does MODOK even know about Cassie? I mean, I guess he knows about Cassie as a very young girl, but he doesn't know all this other stuff.
To strike a deal with him. Kang will send Scott back in time before he took on the life of crime and villainy to be a better father and actually be there with Cassie, rather than setting the role model of a criminal, which Cassie appears to be following as well. I'm pretty sure this can't happen, though, because then Scott will never have become Ant-Man.
Right, so here's the thing, and I touched on this on my video yesterday, too. Scott would know this can't happen. Scott knows time travel via Endgame. That's a big part of it, is like them discussing how actual time travel works in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So for Kang to even make this offer is weird, because Scott's the perfect guy to be like, well, you can't even do that. To which I think, and Trinity thinks, and some other people are kind of on this thought, that Kang will say, oh, no. I actually have a way to do this, because through the quantum nexus, I can touch all time at once. I can actually manipulate this. I can actually get you to have a different life. And one of the reasons this is so cool is because if he actually could do this, honestly, Scott should do it. Because everything's so fucked up in the 616, like Blip, all these different things. Tony's dead, all these things. So I don't know, like, it's really compelling, but the only reason it's compelling, the only way it can be compelling, is if he breaks the MCU timeline thing. It can't be the way that it was before.
And he'll never meet with the Avengers to discover time travel. It would never end up like this.
It would be a paradox.
Things would get real heavy if we go down that path. But Scott doesn't know this. Instead, going
Scotty
along with
doesn't
Kang's
know
plan to jump into essentially a Nexus portal on a cellular level, which I'll touch on later, to steal whatever is powering it, so Kang can use this unlimited power in his time machine. Theoretically, this battery-like artifact contains massive amounts of power needed, but also the ability of the Nexus to create any sort of reality, or rather allow Kang to travel into any sort of reality at any time. Some others have mentioned that it could possibly be the MCU version of the Forever Crystal, which has similar characteristics.
Yeah, so let's just chill on this. So he says, Chronopolis and all who dwell within are no more. Their chronal essences have fused with the heart, changing it, converting it to the forever crystal. With this crystal, I can change history and reflect those changes throughout all of the time stream. I can forever eliminate the Avengers. Their essence are not within the crystal. They got out or whatever. But he can essentially eliminate stuff from all of reality. Now, this is likely to tie in to when he says to Scott in the trailer, hey, man, if you either bring me what I want or everything you call life will cease to exist. That's via this. Now, the other thing that's interesting is I believe he actually captures Chronopolis and he fuses Chronopolis into the crystal. And I think you can actually see something like that happening in the actual Ant-Man trailer.
We can even see the...
Like this thing, that right there. What is this? Now, they're saying it's the battery, and it probably is. It's probably the battery, but here's what I think. I think it is actually Chronopolis. And I'll show you where I think I'm getting this in a second.
Kang's time machine from the first trailer being very similar to the glowing orb with the rings and strange writing similar to that of the 10 rings that the pile of Ant-Man are trying to reach in the second trailer. Kang's
I feel slightly different about that, actually, but yeah, that's fair.
Device is even shaped like an hourglass, hence time travel, baby.
Yep.
So I mentioned it a little earlier, but this second trailer shows us way more of the multiple Ant-Men from the first trailer, even showing Scott duplicating in real time.
Right.
Well, this is because Scott has to dive into a Nexus portal that is on a cellular level. First, of course, what?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe that's true, but I think the Quantum Nexus place is likely just a place that touches all universes and realities. That's why I think he's able to like kind of divide himself like that and like bring in all of these different variants, right? I don't know. It could be the case though that he's forced into this other area.
The Deuce is a Nexus portal. Well, kind of mentioned in
Because what
WandaVision
he's saying here is like they think, and I'm assuming like this is kind of like Jared and Paul's like thoughts on this, and maybe a lot of people think this. It's that Kang himself doesn't want to go through the Quantum Nexus portal or the Quantum Portal, and so he's like booting Scott into the portal to like go do this. I don't know that I believe that, but it is an interesting
Loki
thought.
as Nexus events, and later expanded on in the Multiverse of Madness. This would be the equivalent to the Nexus of all realities, essentially a cross-dimensional gateway that would provide a pathway to any and all possible realities, and would also include the element of time.
Yep.
And with this all being on a cellular level, this Nexus Ant-Man dives into is where timelines are created, or in this case, life is created. This is why we see Ant-Man duplicate instantly, followed by thousands of himself trying to obtain the Nexus artifact Kang is looking for. Kang knows that Ant-Man and his duplicates can work together like ants building a...
So I guess what they're kind of saying is like they think that I can't wrap my head around this. So they're kind of saying that they think Scott will go into this place and then he's able to split himself into variants. I don't think so. I think he's pulling variants from throughout the multiverse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? What's the chat think? What do you think's going on here? Because I tend to believe that he's just at a place that touches all of these different realities, and he's able to pull actual variants from throughout the multiverse into this area to try to help him. Because there's also something in the plot leaks about that Baskin-Robbins guy. You know what I mean? Seems Scott totally shocked and he's split in two. He's not doing it. Kang is? I just don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that.
A tower to
keep going.
reach something, sacrificing himself to save Cassie. Now, why doesn't Kang just dive in there himself? Why wait around for years? Well, two things. First, Kang doesn't 100% know if this is even safe, therefore forcing Ant-Man into being the lab ant. And second, Kang can't afford to have multiples of himself running around. Knowing the way he works and the backstabbing nature of his variants mentioned in the finale of Loki, this would be the worst idea Kang could possibly do. Now,
yeah, so let's touch on that for a second. So this is kind of interesting because, again, like I just don't know that I fully am aligned with the logic that they're using in this video. Because here's the thing. Kang time traveling in general, and this is one of the things that I frankly don't like about Kang being the villain for Secret Wars, is it seems counterintuitive that the way they set up time travel in the MCU would essentially make it so that whenever Kang is doing the Kang thing and going around time, he is creating more variants of himself, which are the most dangerous thing to him being able to conquer the multiverse. So it's like a really weird paradox that they have to try to get around. And I just don't know that that's so much of a concern for Kang, because he should already understand that any time travel is already creating variants. And there were already variants of him before he time traveled. So like the time travel connection to the multiverse is still really wonky. I honestly think they probably should have just done Kang in a very time like displacement kind of thing and saved Secret Wars for Doom and something else, because it's super weird.
one of the biggest theories is that Kang is after the 10 rings and Ms. Marvel's bangles because they are the same tech that his time chair and Chronopolis appear to be utilizing.
This shot right here. Okay, so just on a quick aside here. Oh, shit. Went past it.
Is after the 10 rings and Ms. Marvel's bangles because they are the same tech that his time chair and Chronopolis appear to be utilizing.
This shot right here, I literally feel like this is him raising some crazy-ass rings, and then this big platform here, this like core of Chronopolis, will actually just be encased becoming that battery that we see later. Also, the thing about the bangles and the 10 rings is like, yeah, for sure these are all connected, and these are MacGuffins that he wants, and they could be I've heard people say like if he gets his hand on the 10 rings, it could be like having nuclear weapons. It's like he'll be able to utilize them in a way crazier way than Shang-Chi can. And I get that. I understand it. It's all about, I think, traveling the multiverse, right? But like there's all these other ways to travel the multiverse. So there's America Chavez, and there's only one America Chavez in the entire multiverse. That's weird. What's up with that? And also, how the fuck does Wanda figure that out and go after America, but Kang doesn't? That Kang's not interested in America Chavez? That's weird. We'll touch on that more in a little bit because there's actually new evidence that maybe he does care. The other thing that's weird is if you can just travel... Like here's what I think. I'm just going to skip ahead of what I think's going on. I actually think in these shots here, he's trying to encase and capture the Nexus of Time and potentially even take it with him. Like forever crystal hardcore, but maybe he doesn't get that. Maybe Scott ruins that plan, and so instead he has to settle for like Necropolis and taking the chronal power of that thing so that he can go into like one multiverse or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But here, let's just keep going because the Bangle stuff is true.
One of the biggest theories is that Kang is after the 10 rings and Ms. Marvel's bangles because they are the same tech that his time chair and Chronopolis appear to be utilizing. That they are missing parts to his time chair that he needs. Well, that's not the case. Instead, like I mentioned, the power artifact, or maybe even the forever crystal, is the only thing that Kang needs to get him out of the quantum realm. However, with He Who Remains mentioning the multiversal war that seems to happen over again and again and again, this would mean that things and even people, hint, hint, Fantastic Four, could be displaced in time and reality. So I'm saying the 10 rings and Ms. Marvel's bangles are objects from the upcoming multiversal war with Kang, and they were displaced, sent flying into essentially the MCU's version of the past. Though they do not actually exist until the future. Are you following me here?
Yeah. And so I think this kind of ties into some stuff that Paul's been hearing about, like this weird displacement time thing that's going to happen in Kang Dynasty and going into Secret Wars as well, where essentially you'll have He Who Remains, but because of some wonkiness, we're actually going to see him on his first time through. And so this multiversal war that He Who Remains describes is actually, from our vantage point in the MCU currently, has not happened yet. Right? But it's like really weird. Like, again, like I don't know about that. I don't like that. To be completely frank with you, I don't like it. I don't want it to get that wonky. And I also think, and this is just me, but I also think if it literally just is a loop and then it just is the end of Loki and it's literally reincarnation and we just go right back to exactly having He Who Remains ruling over all of time, it's kind of fucking lame, dude.
This is why they have insane amounts of power. They have similar structure and glyphs that Kang is using in Chronopolis, and also Wong and Captain Marvel say that they don't have anything that matches this technology. It's because they don't, quote, technically exist yet. That's why no one has responded to the 10 Rings beacon either. Potentially Kang is going to have to gather these for himself and become more and more powerful, but with that treading the same waters of collecting the Infinity Stones, I think the better answer is that these weapons are going to have to be used to defeat Kang later. This is going to put some of the Avengers on the same level as Kang in the upcoming Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars. There are even some Eternals-like writing and glyphs used in the quantum realm, so with them being advanced, their tech and powers are going to be able to tie into all of this as well.
Yeah, so I actually think that's really the way it's going to go, that it's all going to be connected to the Celestials, and it's likely going to be connected to the Beyonders as well, right? Because if Kang actually does become a Beyonder, he's likely to get some powers from the Beyond. And it's going to be interesting to see how they explain this via Marvel as far as, like, are the Beyonders the upper echelon? Or is it the Celestials? Is it going to be explained that there's a one above all? You know, what exactly is the deal? Because unless I'm mistaken, in order to preserve time, and one of the comic book sweaties helped me out with this. In the original Avengers Forever, I believe Immortus is actually using the Forever Crystal to put some like fixed points in time in certain universes so that they don't go past space, so that they don't interfere with the Beyonders or the Beyond. And he's doing that to try to preserve all of time. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the way that shit goes, right? I believe that's the way it goes down. So I think all of this stuff is going to tie to energy that was used to create the entire universe, the multiverse, maybe the first universe ever. I think you'll get this explanation that these rings having power or having been from the very first universe, or perhaps being from outside the universe, have an incredible amount of raw power that he's able to tap into. And I think essentially it's all just like little bits of power that comes from the Beyond. Reality warping power that comes from either the Beyonders or the Celestials. That's what I think it is. Yeah, pretty wild. Let's keep going here, and then we're going to talk about some new articles.
So no, Kang is not missing some hubcaps from his clunky old time machine. Another big thing, pun intended, is our first look at MODOK with and without his helmet. And yeah, this is just Darren Cross, aka Yellow Jacket, from the first Ant-Man movie. This all kinda sorta makes sense.
Thanks for the love,
because
Matt.
at the end of that
I'll
film,
go over that in a little
Ant-Man
bit, bro.
messed with his suit's regulator, causing him to shrink in on himself, resulting in a huge
That
head
shit's gotta
right
be
before
painful.
disappearing. Anyway, his origins are completely different from the comics, but I'm saying that he's gonna be Kang's right-hand man through most of Kang's journey. Kang doesn't necessarily need him because of his knowledge of timelines, but I think this is going to be the first step in recruiting baddies to match up with the Avengers in the upcoming Secret Wars movie. Kang is gonna meticulously recruit all of these villains, for example, Red Skull, potentially Killmonger, across time and space to aid him in the finale of this multiverse saga. On top of that,
So they think that it's going to be a bunch of villains against the heroes, which would be really interesting and really cool. But like, if Kang has the powers of the Beyonders, why the fuck does he need anybody? That's like my thing is like, there's some real questions here that I'm sure they have answers figured out for, but I'm sitting here just like scratching my head like, I don't know, bro.
The big quantum army Kang and MODOK have assembled is going to be the real AIM. AIM standing for Advanced Idea Mechanics. This is something that MODOK has a connection to via the comics and is like an arms-dealing science terrorist organization specializing in futuristic weaponry. And nothing looks more futuristic than these dudes right here. Now sure, AIM was said to be the company that Aldrich Killian founded in Iron Man 3, but with him stealing the Mandarin persona, it's not too far off that AIM was also a borrowed idea on his part. This now brings me to the most brutal scene from the latest trailer.
You thought you could win.
So does Ant-Man die? I'm going to be honest, I'm very skeptical of death in the MCU because of the introduction of multiple timelines and variants. I mean, does any of this matter? It's like that scene from Beer Fest where Landfill's brother shows up to the funeral and just takes over his role.
I love that shit. That shit was so funny.
It's a little difficult to get emotionally invested in this stuff. But yeah, Ant-Man is not going to make it out of this with his antennae intact. Now, believe me, it's not the scene from the trailer that we see. That's an entire red herring. However, Phase 5 needs to set the stage in a big way by doing two things. First is showing how powerful, menacing, ruthless...
So here's a couple of things that, and we're going to get into some articles and stuff in a second here, but here's kind of, let me just like talk you through why this shit's confusing to me, okay? Because, okay, so what they're saying, by the way, good video. Go give that video some love. So they're saying that like, okay, it's not pieces of the timeshare, it's the battery. It's the battery that will allow him to escape the quantum realm, okay? But here's my problem with that. How does Janet get the battery from Kang initially? the battery had to be like either low on fuel or broken or something was wrong with it. Why would Kang think that Janet could help him? Why does Kang think that Scott can help him? Right? Like, in what scenario does Kang go into the quantum realm, but he can't quite get in to the quantum nexus because of something wrong with his ship? Janet's helping him, and then she discovers that he's evil, and she takes the thing that he needs and runs, and then gets pulled out of the quantum realm. So wait, are you telling me that Kang can't fix his own battery? Why would he need somebody like Janet to fix the battery? Why would he need somebody like Scott to fix the battery? Anybody? Anybody got an idea? Anybody got any theories? They need the Pym particles. There it is, Trevor. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I think he needs to take some stuff from the quantum realm, utilizing his own technology and Pym particles. I think he needs to like shrink shit down and be able to utilize it, okay? And I can be yeah, but Kang is a genius that goes through time, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is what I think's going on. This is the way I see the movie playing out. I could be wrong, but this is what I think's happening. Kang needs to harness this energy. He needs to harness, for all intents and purposes, let's just call it quantum energy. Okay? So he had enough juice to get into the quantum realm. He finds the quantum nexus, but he doesn't have enough juice to get through the quantum nexus to go into the multiverse and do all the things that he wants to do. I think what he's trying to do is harness the power of the quantum nexus. When you see all the rings around the quantum nexus, what I think he's trying to do is literally take the quantum nexus itself and make that his battery. And I think Scott is going to fuck that up for him. And then I think he's going to come back and just take Necropolis, and that'll give him enough juice to at least get out of the quantum realm. That's what I think. Now, when it comes to magic and it comes to, the cosmic shit, some really interesting things going on right now where they are streamlining a Doctor Strange 3 movie. They are streamlining a Strange Academy Disney Plus show, which is said to star America Chavez and Wong. And Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus has very good, reliable sources, says that the Strange Academy show is going to be, and I have a couple videos coming out about this, actually. I have a video coming out today, probably a video coming out tomorrow, breaking down in detail a lot of this stuff and like getting really, really sweaty. But the Strange Academy show is said to play a huge role in connecting all of this stuff together because it's going to deal with stuff other than magic. Okay? And then the most recent shit, and this is just a rumor, but the most recent shit, they're going to reveal that it was Kang who actually wrote what's in the Darkhold. Okay, so full stop. Holy shit. What the hell? What the what? Okay. Yeah, John hates it. I gotta be honest. I'm like, yeah. Now, I'll break this down in more detail in the videos, okay? But they're claiming that Chthon will still be a thing, but that doesn't mean he's the one that actually wrote what was in the Darkhold, okay? So very much immediately, what does this give us the idea that Kang is connected to? It's the Scarlet Witch. So the prophecy of the Scarlet Witch. You made that up? No, I'll show you right here. I'll show you right here. This comes from the Cosmic Circus, Alex Perez. It says right here, I'll share an interesting rumor I was told by a trusted source. Since it's still very early in development, the story could point to being altered down the road, but it would maintain a similar concept later on in a future project when it's unveiled. With that being said, I'll delve into this information below and try to piece it together with a few theories. What I heard, according to my source, there is a plan to eventually reveal Kang, or rather one of his variants, as the author of the Darkhold. Making Kang, or one of his variants, the author of the Darkhold would be a fascinating way to draw on some supernatural corner of the MCU and the larger multiversal story playing out in the saga. It wouldn't necessarily mean that Chthon is a variant of Kang. After all, we know, eons ago, the first demon carved his dark magic into Wundagore Mountain, later transcribed into the Darkhold. But using context clues, this means that Chthon and the MCU's author are more likely two different people. Okay? And there's a lot of like really cool connection stuff. I'm going to go really deep on it in the video. But for now, what I think it could mean is that the Scarlet Witch herself, I wonder, man, does Kang just see her as like this huge inevitable threat? And did he create the prophecy to try to force people into taking her out? Or did he want to push her into becoming this force? And there's also all these questions about like the incursions, dream walking. Like is and I think here's what I think it really is. I think we're gonna find out, like, because technically speaking, the He Who Remains literally wrote the script for the entire Infinity Saga. This guy like tweaked everything to make the timeline go exactly the way that he wanted to. And I think we might find out that there was another author of time, this other variant of Kang, perhaps way more ancient, way older, that has set up magic and the magic side of the MCU to have some kind of inevitable outcome via the multiversal war or something like that. A lot of us thought maybe Wanda would replace the Molecule Man in the MCU run up to Secret Wars, and it's kind of seeming more and more likely with information like this. So here's kind of the baseline, the base idea that I think we want to keep in mind and why I'm so pumped about this. What it means is that they've figured out a lot of the story for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, and they realize, I think, that in order to make more of this make sense, they need to streamline this show, and they need to streamline Doctor Strange 3, and they need to delay Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, somebody else that knows about the Darkhold, to around that same time. And so around that same time, I think you're going to get this all kinds of fucking magical explanations, and the Demerge is actually a really important part of this, because the Demiurge, or Demerge, or depending on how you want to pronounce it, is not just a magic user. The Demiurge gets to rewrite how magic works in the cosmos, how it even works. What the fuck is that? What does it mean? It's wild, man. Like, this shit, like, it's really cool. It's really crazy. And, I'm kind of excited about it. I'm kind of excited about it. Pretty interesting. Okay, so let's get into the Q&A. See if you guys have any questions about this, any thoughts, any theories, any speculation, and then I got to get out of here because I got to do some work before we're having some plumbers come in and fix some shit in the house. I'm not gonna lie, LOL. When you said, "What the fuck does that even mean?" Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, our minds are being blown, and I think too, guys, they're doing even crazier shit after Secret Wars. Like, Secret Wars is just gonna be like. It's going to be this really fun, crazy thing. And then audiences will also learn and understand and know some like really important things about the overall fabric of the Marvel multiverse. And we're going to get even crazier after Secret Wars. Like, shit's going to get crazy. Okay, anyway. First of the day was Tommy Fawcett. Member for 6 months says, yo, thoughts on Kang being behind Darkhold and Chthon. The video's been slapping. Hashtag Kangbang. Yeah, the one about the Darkhold where I'm going to really deep dive, that'll probably come out tomorrow. But I have one coming out today that talks about a lot of the delays, a lot of the magical stuff that's being, forced or streamlined, I should say. So, yeah, I just went over a lot of my thoughts, but I appreciate it, Tommy. Chibuizi. How do I pronounce your name? I always pronounce your name wrong. Do you think Armor Wars will be changed to introduce West Coast Avengers? And they will be the first line of defense when Kang attacks in Avengers 5. No, I don't think so. I think, if anything, they may change that title to be something even more cosmic related, yeah, we'll see. James says, LOL, just logged back into this account. Have I been a member this whole time? Yeah, you've been a member for 18 months, dude. Thanks for the support. Tila with a $50 donation. Holy shit. Appreciate you, man. Says, I hate YouTube so much some days, some months, some years. Yeah, YouTube can be rough, but I don't understand the message. I don't understand it, but I appreciate the 50 question mark. What's happening here? Courtney says, lack of content. The PG-13 method isn't working. It's so crazy that so many people think the maturity of the content is a part of it. It's interesting because, dude, I gotta be honest with you. This might be a hot take, but I feel like the amount of people that are saying stuff about the maturity of the content is actually the biggest signal that Disney branding is horrible, that the Disney brand is in trouble. Because I think what people are really saying is they don't like that Disney feeling. They don't like the idea of things being Disney-fied. Bro, think about how bad you have to screw up your branding to get regular-ass folks to say that your brand feel on other things is not a good look. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that is rough, bro. Maybe they'll learn. Maybe they'll do more mature stuff. Rhett Proctor says, I think Kang might be modeled some of his technology off Dr. Doom or Reed Richards. I'm just speculating, but it really does make sense. First of all, appreciate the support, brother. Yeah, that could very well be the case. I hope there's a connection to the Fantastic Four. Like, you know, they kind of tease it in that video. I should just ask Paul, like, if he's heard anything about that. But, yeah, I don't know, man. Fantastic Four popping up in Quantumania. I mean, it would be pretty hyped. But then again, it's like, here's the thing. If they do Fantastic Four, all I'm going to want is Doom. Like, you know, I just want Doom, bro. I'm sorry, I just want Doom. Just give me Doom. Jimmy Bones says, Marvel is supposed to be a big draw, but is mid to trash. She-Hulk actively taunted fans, hurt the brand, and was expensive. Eventually, money talks. Yeah, I mean, dude, I got no disagreements with you there. That shit was bad and apparently cost way too much money. Yeah, it's crazy. Rhett Proctor follows up another 10 spot. Appreciate you, brother. Says, I only really like a couple of shows. WandaVision, Moon Knight, but I really liked Hawkeye because it was very street level and grounded. Hoping for Spider-Man and Kate Bishop team up someday. That would be fun, yeah. Yeah, man, I just feel like a lot of these shows are just too bite-sized. They're too small of ideas. They're too slow of character arcs. Like, they don't, like, the anticipation that we have for, like, House of the Dragon season 2 or, like, the next Boys season or the next season of Cobra Kai or Stranger Things. Like, bro, I don't have that same feeling when you talk about the Echo show. I don't have that same feeling when you talk about Agatha Coven of Chaos. Wonder Man? Like, I don't have that feel. Even Moon Knight, who I love the Moon Knight character, I'm like, bro, I don't know. It's tough. The talented Mr. Griffin, member for 14 months, says, I don't know, Josh. I feel like even the normies will be drawn into learn more about Mandalorian lore. Just my thoughts. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, you mean for season 3? Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe this will be the thing where it's like, oh shit, word of mouth is like, dude, you gotta check out this Mando stuff. It's really, really cool. But I think, like, here's the thing. Here's where Star Wars is, like, why Star Wars is in such a weird spot. I don't know that normies actually give a shit about Mandalorians. I think they like Din, and I think they like Baby Yoda, and I think a lot of hardcore Star Wars people love the Mandalorians, love the idea from the EU. We love the Clone Wars stuff. We love Bo-Katan and shit like that. But I gotta be honest with you, I think a lot of normies don't really care about Mandalore or Mandalorians. I think the show's job is to get them to care. And I don't know. I like, we'll see. We'll see. It is possible, though. Like, I see what you're saying. Like, maybe that shit pops off. People are like, this is really cool, and people get excited about it. But, yeah. Jonathan says, I'm loving the X-Men modern comics so much right now. Me too, man. I gotta read Immortal X-Men number 9. I've heard it is insane. I have heard it is Crazy Town, USA. So I'm excited. Okay, but here's the thing. So Star Wars Obsession says, after going to Celebration last year, I disagree. People in armor. Yeah, I'm talking about normies. Normies don't go to Star Wars Celebration. Star Wars Celebration gets about 50 to 70,000 people. And that group is hardcore people or people that were dragged there by hardcore people. So, like, normies don't go to Star Wars Celebration. Chase Floyd says, let's talk Warhammer. Oh, goody! After the Cavill news a few weeks back and you being excited to buy some miniatures, I went down the rabbit hole of lore. I'm in. Gonna build me a Raven Guard Legion army. Dude, that's sick. I like the Raven Guard as a concept. Like, it seems so fucking cool. I think my second army will either be Tau, Grey Knights. Well, I guess I already have a Blood Angel army started. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm super into Warhammer, though. I'm so excited. I'll probably play this week. And there's a new type of game mode called Boarding Party, which is much smaller. It's like a 500-point game that you play on a ship. But yeah, dude, that's sick, Chase. I'm glad you're getting into it, bro. Hopefully they sign that contract. Apparently they haven't finalized the contract between Amazon and GW. The Second Son says, I won't be watching Season 3 because of sequel links. Ooh, that's rough, bro. You're not even gonna wait to see about the sequel links? Because it's all sequel links, brother. Like, even Ahsoka's gonna have sequel links. I think Ahsoka will probably have less because it's out there, you know, fooling around in the new Beyond. But, like, dude, they are double, tripling down on sequel era stuff. It's pretty wild. I hear you about the Adam Warlock thing. Yo, anonymous fucker. Hey, anonymous Hey, anonymous. I'll answer your Adam Warlock question after I get to the super chats. Holy shit. Whew. Claytonium says, I'm worried about Mandalorian Season 3. I think they brought back Grogu because they're worried that Season 3 won't be good enough on its own. Well, first of all, getting rid of Grogu was the stupidest idea ever. By the way, I'm over Grogu. Anybody else over Grogu? Dude, put a 1 into the chat if you're over Grogu. Dude, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. I don't care anymore. I'm over it. Grogu, I'm over it. Don't care. Don't care. Maybe 2 years off air, and yet the commercialism of Grogu being at an all-time high. Like, Liam has so many Grogu outfits, it makes me want to puke. It's just, it's indicative of, like, this Disney strategy where they're like, dude, people seem to love that Grogu. Let's pound that dead horse into powder. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be too salty. We're going into 2023 positive. Okay, everybody calm down. Somebody said I skipped their chat. Okay, maybe it's this one? Jared, did I skip your shit? Why is Star Wars cramming their shows on top of each other? Bad Batch and Mando overlapping, then Ahsoka and Mando overlapping too? Space out your big shows and give us some time to enjoy and digest them. I don't know that Ahsoka's overlapping. I thought Ahsoka wasn't coming out till much later. But yeah, it's weird, right? Because they'll go like long stretches with nothing, and then they'll just like cram a bunch of stuff together. I don't know. It's weird. It is kind of strange, huh? Okay. Let's keep going. Mas says, the Star Wars book that is written, and Andor was the way and the light and saved them all, and in the cinematic atmosphere bound them. What? Yo, Mas, how many are you on some blinkers today? Like, just, you don't gotta, what's going on over there? Are you having a special kind of tea? Like, were you up late? Look, I know this is some kind of highbrow way to trigger me about Andor, okay? But you don't need to go highbrow. Just say the word Andor, and I'm already fucking... It's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta do. Like, I was like, yesterday on Twitter, I said, Star Wars needs fresh and new, while also feeling like the old movies. And, Ahsoka's our best hope for that. And it's literally just, the comments are people like, we had that and it's Andor. Hey, Josh, you ever hear of Andor? Because it's what you're describing. I even had people where I was like, why aren't more people watching The Bad Batch? I had this dude literally say, well, after Andor being so good, I can't seem to get the energy to give Bad Batch a try because I know it won't be as good as Andor. Whew. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I feel like, anyway. Jackson, first of all, Kalisto, thank you for the gifting the 10. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Jackson Henry says, what's up, Josh? Haven't been in a stream in a minute, and all I have to say is steaks. Love you, man. Appreciate what you do. Wish you and your family health. Hey, thank you so much, Jackson Henry. I appreciate that, and I like steaks too. How do you like your steaks cooked, man? I like mine medium rare. Sometimes rare. Yeah. Yeah. Axit again, thanks for gifting. Darth, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. Matthew says, never forget when I said it might be the heart of forever months ago, and Josh said, nah, it's just a time chair. And also, what's the Discord? Love you, Josh. No, you don't say that, Matt. But maybe you were right. Can somebody get him into the Discord, please? I appreciate you, Matt. And yeah, you were right, man. And I think at that time I was like, what even is that? John Cross says, Shang-Chi has been my favorite piece of new character content Marvel has released. I really hope we get a second movie before A5 and 6. I think you will. I think you'll get Shang-Chi 2 before the Kang Dynasty, which seems crazy. Like, where are they putting these movies, dude? Like, where are they putting these movies? Like, what are they doing? Is Kang gonna come down in reality and crack open some time so we can get more of these movies in? Or are they gonna delay it? Oh boy. Matthew says, theory, the MCU till now has been an alternate timeline of the comics, and when the multiverse gets saved from Kang in the universe, they will be indistinguishable from the comics. Bro, that's a brilliant idea, Matt. They'd probably never do it. Yo, can I share with you guys just real quickly? And oh my god, I'm running out of time. I need to get out of here. We need to rush through these things, but I'm going to do that ADD thing one more time. Can I explain to you guys quickly how I solved the entire MCU problem? They'll never do what I'm about to say, but I've completely and 100% solved the MCU problem. Are you ready? Are you ready? The big problem they have is they have too much content that they want to make, and they can't keep all of that content both canonical and impactful, and have it be up to the production that it needs to be to satisfy the fandom. Can we agree that that's kind of the problem, okay? And here's the solution. You take a lot of these stories that you want to do. Like, Feige's probably like, oh, but I want to do Agatha Coven of Chaos. Oh, I want to do Wonder Man and all that shit, right? I get it. Here's what you do. You don't make it a show. Don't make it a movie. You make it a comic book. Okay? And what Marvel could do is they could make high grade, high quality, produced, like, graphic novels that would come out. I know, it sounds crazy. Just let me cook for a second. Holy shit. And they could release multiple of these a year that directly tie into the Marvel Universe, are canon to the MCU, but they're high quality comics. Now, here's one of the drawbacks to that. If you like the ideas, give me some love, and if you don't, keep it to your goddamn self. Now, here's one of the issues with it. The actors. Okay? Here's one of the issues. The actors. Because it's like, okay, how can you use the likeness of the actors in the comics? The actors will want a little piece. It's like all convoluted. The actors are like, wait, what are you talking about? I'm missing out on a show? Dude, give the actors royalties on these high quality, well produced graphic novels. And it's like this. This is why this is so brilliant, okay? This is why this is so brilliant. You could create a whole new draw to reading these comics. Because here's the deal. A lot of us at this point are going to see Marvel content that doesn't have like an intrinsic draw because of the MCU. What that means is, like, maybe a lot of us didn't really give a shit about Captain Marvel, but we went to check it out because we wanted to learn about the MCU. That same energy could massively prop up the value of these books. I'm telling you right now, they would literally sell way better than most comic books that are actually in the shops right now. You could get like the who's who of comic book artists and writers, bring them in, have them actually collaborate, sign contracts with the actors, bring the actors in to actually pose. Like back in the day, fucking Walt Disney and Marvel and DC, they used to do really cool shit where they'd like bring in a Shark Tank and have the artists all look around at the Shark Tank just to get ideas of how to draw dynamic sharks and like get an idea like that. It used to be the case when you worked at Marvel Comics or you worked at Walt Disney or you worked at DC, you were like a rock star of an artist. You got to experience all this cool shit. It's nothing like that anymore, and that's what I think they should do. So thank you guys all for agreeing with me. It's a great idea. Let Feige know. Moving on. Matthew says, theory, the MCU up till... Oh, we already talked about this. I actually do like that idea, and that's what got me on my shit. Cole says, what are Kang's fighting powers aside from the time travel stuff? He's just a badass. Like, he's just a ripped Giga Chad dude. And he could definitely whoop some ass. For sure. Meister420 says, maybe Disney Plus is struggling because it's more targeted at nerds and children, whereas Netflix has more content for normies. Normies are the majority. It's an interesting take. You might be onto something there. Kendall, a.k.a. the Sensei, says, evidence that Wanda is Molecule Man equal. I'm gonna read this again, only because Kendall knows I love him. Evidence that Wanda is Molecule Man equal. Cool. Yes, Kendall. 100%. 100%. And I feel bad. We ran out of characters. Well, what are you saying, bro? Just put it into the chat. I would have got to it. Let me tear through these and then we'll see what you mean. John Brent says, one more month and I'll be in the Diamond Lounge. I think absolutely you will be, and we'll have some drinks and cheer and fellowship. Amelia says, do you think Kang has been orchestrating Wanda losing everyone she loves in the timeline to allow her to become corrupted by the Darkhold? Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Wanda equal molecule man. I think there's some evidence there, brother. I think there's some evidence there, which could explain his tinkering with it. And then he follows up here and says, we're on the same page. Check out the back half of my Doom video where you get a chance. Theory on Doom and Wanda. Ooh, I like it. I like it, bro. Okay, I will definitely check that out. XA says, send a video on Discord. Would you react to it? It kind of depends, but Tuesday, maybe. Theo says, hi from France. Perfect time to catch the stream. Thoughts about Stream Deck? I got one. It changed my gaming habits. I can game anywhere, anytime now. I mean, look, dude, the Stream Deck's cool, but I fucking stream and make YouTube videos. I'm at home all the time. I don't need a more accessible way to game, dude. I need less accessible gaming. I need my computer to be like, stop looking at Warhammer miniatures on eBay and finish that script, you know? Stop looking at Steam for good deals on fun games from the past. You know, that's what I need. I don't need any more distractions. I appreciate the thought, though. Jackson Henry says, bit the bullet and jumped into Warhammer, building an all-combat patrol Blood Angel army. Cavill announces 40K show, then I spend $300 on figures. Oh, 300? You must be just getting started then. Seriously, though, holy shit. No, that's awesome, man. Dude, are you saying there's some we could get a Nerdvengers Warhammer club going on? We could meet up and play some games? Oh, that'd be so fun. That would be so fun, man. Jamron says, what the hell? Just read now. The Darkhold was written by Kang. I know, it's weird, huh? It's really, really weird. It's really weird. We'll try to make sense of it as we go, though. Tiberius Monk says, hello, Josh. I consider Eternals to be one of the more underrated parts of Phase 4. Eternals and Black Panther 2 are my favorite Phase 4 films. Yeah, I could see that. I really like Eternals. When I first saw it, man, I think if the third act had been tighter and probably different, Eternals could have been all-time great, like legendary comic book movie. Because I think what it's accomplishing in its first and second act are phenomenal. Like, really cool. But then the third act falls apart for me. But yeah, I can see that. And Black Panther 2 is a fine movie. It's good. There's some creative choices I'm not thrilled with. You know, it's just, I don't know. They should have recast T'Challa camp, but I do respect the movie. It's very well crafted. Like, Coogler made a hell of a movie. So yeah, I could see it, man. Appreciate the love. For Frodo says, Josh, big fan. I have a YouTube channel about Lord of the Rings and started well, but now algorithm is killing me. Very few views and my content is improved and even thumbnails are better. What to do for Frodo? Okay. Couple of different things here, man. Number one, you got to just try to make the best content that you possibly can. But you also have to try to make content about things that are interesting. There has to be a certain amount of people that want to watch content like that for the content to work, right? But you'll have your slow times, you'll have your hot times. That's just always going to happen. I don't know. I would say work on the fundamentals, keep trying to get better, but also understand that, like, the measure of a good video is not always the quality of the video. Sometimes it literally just comes down to the quality of the video idea. What is the video idea? Is it intriguing enough to get non-Lord of the Rings fans to check it out? Something to think about, maybe. Tiberius also follows up and says, Josh, you, your family, and friends have a great day. Hey, thank you, Tiberius. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day, man. Yava Trooper says, if we want just blasters in a space fantasy, we'll watch Star Trek. Star Wars is for the magic. I agree with that, and I can't wait for more magic. The Second Son says, if everything rumored is true, I'm sad for Star Wars. Oh, no! But yeah, you might be right. Kaylin Jackson says, I just say make 2-hour special presentation for characters. Too many shows. Yeah, I agree. But that's the thing is, like, I think they might go down to like 1 or 2 shows total. a year. But if they want to tell all these other crazy stories, all they got to do is make the high quality graphic novels that are considered canon and big products. I would love that. I would love it. And it seems like everybody in the chat thought it was a great idea too. Let's see here. Kevin says, the comic is a great idea. I always thought there should be MCU tie-in comics like that. DC used to do that with the Batman the Animated Series. Yeah. Yeah, and Marvel has done it a couple times, for sure. But yeah, so everybody, if you liked my comic book idea, throw one into the chat, you know what I mean? The answer to Marvel problem is just make cinematic universe in continuity with the comics. Oh! There you go. Another, I like it. William says, you seem pretty knowledgeable about these things, but I think that Apple will overtake streaming in a few years with all of their good original content. I mean, it's possible their streamer base is much smaller, but I also think they're spending way less on their shows. Look, everybody loves my idea. Let's fucking go. So I don't know, William. We'll have to see how it all shakes out, man. How do you feel about the Dana White incident? Are you talking about like when he hit his wife? I mean, dude, it looks fucking awful. It looks horrible. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you don't have the full context of it, but it almost doesn't matter because it's like if this is what you do publicly, what do you do privately? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those situations because as a person that has a big, I guess, brand and you represent this company and all these different things, like you've got to be guarded when you're out. And for it to get to that point out in public, it just makes you think, like, what could possibly be going on behind the scenes? Yeah, it's kind of shitty, man. Now, is this just a momentary lapse for otherwise decent dude? Maybe? Either way, this shit looks bad, bro. And it's really crazy when you see it, too. Because who was the NFL player? There was this NFL player several years back. And we heard that they like had a domestic abuse thing. And then they got suspended. And then like weeks later, the video came back. Dude, that shit hit different. When you see it on video, you're like, bro, I don't think you got enough suspension. You know what I mean? Like that shit's crazy. So yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, Ray Rice, yeah. It's a tough one, man. I mean, domestic issues and like relationship stuff, I think for the most part should be considered a private matter. But like this dude slapped the shit out of his wife like in front of a bunch of people. Like what? Yeah. Okay. Taylor White says, working at a Blinker factory, we have a ton of Star Wars fans. There's nothing like the feeling of a show like Mando and Bad Buzz buzzing in the air. Andor never had that feeling. Let him know, Taylor. Let him know. Thoughts on Jeremy Renner maybe not coming back? Well, dude, I want him to get back to healthy. You know what I mean? And I would like the man to be able to continue to live a relatively normal, functional life. You know, a lot of the stuff that came out about Jeremy, and I have to get out of here. I have fucked up my day because I love you guys, but I got to get out of here, man. I love streaming. All right, I got to get out of here. Enough waffling. Okay. Much love. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the support. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll do gambling. We'll do call-ins. We'll have a good-ass time. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Aw, man. Man, I tell you, I've been having a good time streaming. I don't know. You guys been having a good time? I feel like we are kicking off 2023, and these streams have been so fun. I've been having a blast. If I didn't have a bunch of other shit to do today and the plumbers were coming and I was trying to record before I had to get the plumbers here and then it's going to be all loud and then I'm going to get super triggered and if I didn't have to do all that, I'd still be... Wait, I am still streaming. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? All right, everybody. Open up your third eye. Wash out your stinky butt. Take care of yourselves out there. Drink plenty of water. I'll see you next time.